Today, we're going to talk about how we made this. If you are interested in behind the scenes of professional film production, then make sure to take a moment, click subscribe now for more on-set videos. Product shots have always been something that has interested me greatly. It's all about how you can take one single thing that most people wouldn't normally pay any extra mind to and make that one little thing appear larger than life, like it's the most important thing in the world. So that's exactly what we set out to do. As always, my brother Job worked with me and we set out to take an ordinary small brewery beer and make it seem like the most important beverage in the entire world. First, I have zero affiliation with Warp Wing Brewing, which may lead you to ask, why did we spend a bunch of time making a promo video for their beer? Well, for one, the best way to learn any type of filmmaking is to just jump in and do. So this process was an educational lab to get in and figure out how it's done. Secondly, as a filmmaker who wants to do client work, all the skills and technical knowledge in the world won't get you jobs. You have to go to the work and make it happen, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Making this promo not only gives us great on-set practice to make these types of promos, but also helps build a bridge with a local company. At the end, I now have something to send to a brewery and make a connection if they need promo work done in the future. If not, that's fine because this is still something I can put onto a reel or portfolio to give to other potential clients. So if you want to get into commercial film work, don't just sit there. Make this stuff for free until someone is willing to pay you for it. Now let's get into how we made this, and more importantly, what we learned from it as well. Lighting is very important for exhibiting something to make it look appetizing. So to give the can some extra depth, we edge lit both sides with 2-foot RGB LED tubes set to 5600K. For the smooth gradient background, we used another 2-foot tube horizontally set to reddish pink. Finally, to key the can to make the label pop, we used a Godox VL60 32-inch softbox with a honeycomb grid. The first challenge with all these lights was spill. It was extremely difficult to keep our key light from washing out the background gradient with too much light, so we had to use foam core flags all over the place to keep the color on our backsplash. Next time, I'll either move the backsplash further from the product or simply film on a full black background to isolate the product and then add the background back in post. To get the lights to sync up and turn on for the opening shot, I used an app to control the LED tubes with Bluetooth, and Job manually struck the Godox in time while the camera pushed in on a motorized slider. Now for making the can look good. A pretty easy Google search will show that water mixed with glycerin will yield a really good condensation look that doesn't run down the can so easily. So we went to a local pharmacy to buy some glycerin. One problem, we're in the middle of a global pandemic and glycerin is the main component of making hand sanitizer, so that was a no-go. Except for glycerin has another form in use. Laxative rectal suppositories. That's right, we bought diarrhea butt pills. That's right, we bought diarrhea butt pills to crush up and mix with water so that we could spray it on our beverage to make it look more appetizing. Which actually worked really well. Even though the cans were room temperature, they looked nice and cold. Now, with the drink being fruity raspberry drink, we wanted to help emphasize that refreshing, juicy fruit flavor. So showing it alongside actual raspberries was a must. We bought a couple containers of raspberries, only to find out that warm raspberries are way too squishy to make them look appetizing. Job had the idea to freeze them, and this made them retain the shape and bounce around much better. To get raspberries for the VFX shots, I just stuck them on a skewer in front of the camera and slowly spun them a little bit. Then used the luminance difference to create a matte in After Effects and isolate them from the background. Then all we had to do was animate them in 3D space, and voila. We also got a bunch of ice to mix with the raspberries and wanted a shot of them flying past the can to give the idea that the drink was exploding with refreshing cool flavor. So we loaded them into cups and stood off screen and just began flinging them at the table. It took a couple tries, but one thing we had a lot of difficulty was not only nailing a shot, but also getting so close to the product to do this was blocking our lights. Finally, we got one that was acceptable and we had to move on. Now, the first big mistake that we made when shooting was going in without a plan. We knew we needed shots of the drink looking good, but that's pretty much as far as we thought ahead. So we just gathered a bunch of random shots of the drink and called it a day. This made the edit extremely difficult. If the shots were just cut together, it would have been a dry montage of a can. Not to mention it wasn't very energetic since most of the shots were on a tripod. So to make it pop, I had to go through and digitally give the camera some movement and add some clever transitions. This doesn't look nearly as good as if we had planned out the shot and filmed the movement with the planned transitions in mind. We should have storyboarded it out, given the video the organic energy that it needed. However, this is a testament to the power of post, and what you can do even if the footage is a little lackluster. Once I added some sweeping transitions and some simple sound design, I was left with something that felt much better. Then, slap on royalty-free Poppy song and the product looks delicious. If you think we made the beer look good, then make sure to let me know in the comments below if you would drink it. And give a suggestion of what our next product shot should be on. If you want to see the making of our last short film, make sure to click the video right now, or make sure to subscribe to get that feeling of being on set all the time. And as always, keep those cameras rolling. Thank you so much for watching.